Hello students, in this session we are going to learn about the most interesting topic, types of information. Before knowing about the types, let us first see what information is. Information is facts about situation, person, event, business, etc. Information is specific and organized for a purpose and presented within a context that gives it meaning and relevance. Information is a resource of fundamental importance to an organization. Information is the key to effective planning and efficient management of any organization. Information collected, stored and analyzed under management information system can be directly utilized by management for both day-to-day operations and for planning and controlling. Information brings clarity and creates an intelligent human response to run the businesses. An information system in an organization is like the nervous system in the human body. It is the link that connects all the organization's components together and provides for better operation and survival in a competitive environment. Indeed, today's organizations run on information. The value of information is directly linked to how it helps decision makers achieve the organization's goal. Most of the information used by the management is obtained from the internal operations of the company. Internal information may take the form of sales figures, personal records, customer records and financial documents such as trading, profit and loss accounts and the balance sheet. This information helps in taking more accurate decisions for internal processes. However, external information about the environment in which the organization exists is also important to all organizations. Now, what is this external information? External information comprises intelligence gathering about competitors' activities, information about population shifts, economic and social factors in which business exists and government legislation. This external information is collected in many ways through conversations and interpersonal networking, reading newspapers, trade reviews and magazines, attending conferences and meetings, browsing the internet, etc. This information helps in cutting production costs, finding new markets, developing new products or to take strategic decisions to decide about the future direction of the company. Information is one of the organization's valuable and important resources. The source of information is data. Many opinion that data and information both are same, but in reality, information is processed data. Data consists of raw facts such as an employee's name, number of hours worked in a week, sales order, etc. Several types of data can be used to represent these facts. When these facts are organized or arranged in a meaningful manner, they become information. Well, after knowing about the terms data and information and how data can become information, let us learn about different types of data. These are 1. Alphanumeric data. This represents numbers, letters and other characters. 2. Image data. This represents graphic images and pictures. 3. Audio data. This represents sounds, noise or tones. 4. Video data. This represents moving images or pictures. Now we see the process of transforming data into information. Here 3 parts: input, processing, output. What are these input, processing and output representing here? Input is the activity of gathering and capturing raw data. Processing involves converting or transforming data into useful outputs by selecting, organizing and manipulating data. Output involves producing useful information usually in the form of documents and reports. Any organization needs information with certain characteristics. These are accuracy. Information should be error free. Complete. information should contain all the important facts. Economical, information should also be relatively economical to produce. Flexible, flexible information can be used for a variety of purposes. Reliable, reliable information can be depended on. Relevant, relevant information is important to the decision maker. Simple, information should also simple, not overly complex. Timely, information is delivered when it is needed. Verifiable, information should be verifiable. This means that you can check it to make sure it is correct. Accessible, information should be easily accessible by authorized users to be obtained in the right format and at the right time to meet their needs. Secure, information should be secure. Unauthorized users should not have access. In other words, information improves representation of an entity, updates level of knowledge, has a surprise value, reduces uncertainty, aids in decision making. The quality of information could be called good or bad depending on the mix of all these characteristics. Information is very valuable for businesses and running organizations. So, it should be secured carefully. Let us see how information can be secured. Obviously, information is an asset to all individuals and businesses. Information security refers to the protection of these assets. Information security is concerned with the confidentiality, integrity and availability of data regardless of the form the data may take. That is, it may be either electronic, print or other forms. Some of the practices that ensure information security are login or open authorization, access not allowed into the system at all, read authorization, it allows only reading and not any modifications, insert authorization, it allows only insertion and not any modifications, update authorization, it allows modifications only, not any deletions, delete authorizations, allows deletion also. In this computerized and online environment, passwords and firewalls are helpful in securing information to some extent. Information presentation. In the modern 21st century business world, information can be presented in different ways. Oral information uses sound to convey information. Example, a presentation, a speech or address and music clips. Written information uses words to describe or state facts. Letters, memos and business reports are examples of written information. Graphs and charts. Graphical information depicts data in the form of graphs and charts. Graphs and charts are often used to present information more clearly. Numerical information shows data in a number format or in a table. Example, accounting documents such as trading, profit and loss account or the balance sheet. Pictorial information uses images, pictures or photographs to highlight information. Quantitative information is information that is definable, measurable and is presented in a numerical format. Quantitative information can be gathered via observations, surveys and factual information such as sales figures. Next, qualitative information. This information is more about attitudes, beliefs and feelings. It is descriptive. Qualitative information is usually gathered via focus groups, hall tests and surveys. Now, we talk about types of information. The information can be classified in a number of ways to provide better understanding. 1. Action versus no action information. The information which induces action is called action information. Example, no stock reports. Calling for a purchase action is action information. The information which communicates only the status is no action information. Example, the stock balance is no action information. Second, recurring versus no recurring information. The information generated at regular intervals is recurring information. For example, The monthly sales reports, the stock statement, the trial balance, etc. are recurring information. The financial analysis or the report on the market research study is non-recurring information. The information can also be classified in terms of its application. 1. Planning information. Certain standard norms and specifications are used in planning of any activity. Hence, such information is called the planning information. Example, time standard, design standard. 2. Control information. Reporting the status of an activity through a feedback mechanism is called the control information. When such information shows a deviation from the goal or objective, it will induce a decision or an action leading to control. 3rd, knowledge information. A collection of information through the library records and the research studies to build up a knowledge base as information is known as knowledge information. Information can also be classified on the basis of usage. These are organization information. When the information is used by everybody in the organization, it is called organization information. For instance, employee and payroll information is used by a number of people in an organization for various purposes. Database information. When the information has multiple uses and application, it is called as database information. Example, material specification or supplier information is stored for multiple users. Functional or operational information. When the information is used in the operation of a business, it is called functional or operational information. Information like sales or production statistics is functional information meeting operational needs of these functions. Some of the important types of information that are required at different levels of management are operational information. Operational information relates to the day-to-day operations of the organization and thus is useful in exercising control over the operations that are repetitive in nature. Since such activities are controlled at lower levels of management, operational information is needed by lower management. Example, day-to-day cash positions for accounts department, daily and weekly sales information for marketing function, etc. You all know the retail giant Walmart. This Walmart uses retail link system which digitally links every one of the Walmart stores with its suppliers. The supplier is monitoring the items and as soon as an item is purchased, the supplier knows the replacement must be shipped to the shelf. Tactical information. Tactical information helps middle-level managers allocating resources and establishing controls to implement the top-level plans of the organization. That is, tactical information is used by middle-level management when managing or planning projects. For example, information regarding the alternative sources of funds and their uses in the short run, opportunities for deployment of surplus funds in short term securities, etc. The tactical information may be partly current and partly historical and may come from internal as well as external sources. An example is the Toyota production system, which mainly focuses on organizing work to make continuous improvements, eliminating waste. Toyota production system is based on what the customers actually ordered. Strategic information. Strategic information is used at the very top level of management within an organization. These are chief executives or directors who have to make decisions for the long term. Strategic information is broad based and will use mixture of information gathered from both internal and external sources. Strategic information is used by managers to define goals and priorities, initiate new programs and develop policies for acquisition and use of corporate resources. For example, information regarding the long-term needs of funds for ongoing and future projects of the company may be used by top-level managers in taking decision regarding going public or approaching financial institutions for term loan. Google, eBay, Apple use information systems to differentiate products and enable new. When you see this diagram, you can understand the different levels of managers' usage and extent of the different types of information. Lower level managers use a majority of operational information and tactical information to some extent. Middle level managers use the combination of part of operational information, tactical information and strategic information. Top level management utilizes majority of strategic information and tactical information to some extent for making decisions. Now, we see where we get the required information. Sources of data to collect information from pre-existing or official data. Pre-existing or official data is information that has already been documented. Examples: employee personal files, student registration forms, annual reports, occurrence reports. Next, survey data. Survey research is a broad area and generally includes many measurement procedures that involve asking respondents questions. A survey can range from short paper and pencil questionnaire to an in-depth one-to-one interview. Next, focus groups. In focus groups, the interviewer facilitates the session. A select group of people are brought together, asked questions, encouraged to listen to each other's comments and have their answers recorded. The same set of questionnaire may be used for a number of different groups, each of which is constituted slightly differently and for a range of purposes. Example: separate focus groups for representative of each of the organization's internal and external stakeholders groups, such as senior management, frontline employees, service users, union representatives and community groups also. Interviews. Interviews are commonly conducted face to face, but for more rapid results can also be done over the telephone or as technology advances through video conferencing and other means. Interviews help to find out accurate trends and gaps can be drawn from the data. Observation. Observation allows analysts to gain information they cannot obtain by any other fact finding method. Through observation, analysts can obtain first hand information about how activities are carried out. This method is most useful when analysts need to actually observe how documents are handled, how processes are carried out. Observers know what to look for and how to assess the significance of what they observe. Now, we are going to understand dimensions of information. There are three most common dimensions of information. One is economic dimension. Economic dimension of information refers to the cost of information and its benefits. Generation of information costs money. Measuring cost and benefit of information is difficult because of intangible characteristic of information. What is cost information? Cost of information may include cost of acquiring data, cost of maintaining data, cost of generating information and cost of communicating information. Cost is also related to accuracy, speed of generation, etc. Value of information. As we discussed in the beginning, the information has a perceived value in terms of decision making. Value of information is cost to get information benefits. Business dimension. Different types of information are required by managers at different levels of the management hierarchy. The information needs of managers at a strategic planning level are altogether different than those of operational control managers. It is because of the fact that managers at different levels are required to perform different functions in an organization. Technical dimension. This dimension of information refers to the technical aspects of the database. It includes the capacity of database, response time, security, validity, data interrelationship, etc. Some important terms of information are information overload. When user is presented with too much of information, he or she will be in the state of information overload. It creates a barrier in understanding the information presented and ultimately confuses the user. Second, redundancy of information. Redundancy is the result of storing and communicating the same information through different messages. It represents duplication of information. Redundancy of data and information is expected on a limited scale, because the redundancy sometimes is considered as an essential feature to ensure that the information is received and digested. Summarizing information. Summarizing information is the process of aggregating. It reduces the volume of information without affecting essential meaning. For example, the process of getting weekly sales report from daily sales reports. The principle behind summarization is that too much information causes noises and distortion, that is confusion, misunderstanding and missing the purpose. The summarization suppresses the noise and distortions. Uses of information in business. Information collected and gathered by a business has different uses. Monitor and control. Financial information such as sales figures and budgets would be used to take corrective action if there are uses or problems that may arise. Assist decision making. Decision making needs high quality information. It needs in all the decisions regarding developing a new product, entering a new market, deciding on equipment or software to purchase, or even when it comes to recruiting new staff. Measuring performance. Performance will be compared with previous years and or with companies of a similar size or in the same market. Ratios are useful for comparing performances. Identify new business opportunities. Information must be gathered constantly on consumers and competitors to look for changes or trends in the market that the firm can target. Information is very valuable entity in an organization. It is vital for survival of business. Information updates the level of knowledge and reduces uncertainty. Information aids in decision making. However, it is not available in ready form. So, it is the responsibility of both management and employees to collect, organize and utilize for organization's benefit. Hope you learned something about information and types of information, etc. Thank you.